Welcome to the Christy Crow Sports Show here on this rainy Monday afternoon. We're coming to you live from inside the coach's office at Bullock County High School. We planned on showing you some live footage of practice from the practice field, but because of the rain, we've moved it inside, so we've got a lot of great things to show you today. Today's sports show is brought to you by Willie Durham, State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. It's also brought to you by the committee to re-elect Henry Barnett for County Commissioner. We appreciate the support of both of these gentlemen for the sports programs here at Bullock County High School. We really appreciate them supporting this show. The Hornets were in full pads on Thursday night in Reeltown. Reeltown was the number 9th ranked team in the state. Unfortunately, the Hornets have only beat a ranked team once before in the history of the school. So we were not expected to win. In fact, there were some sports pundits out there that had the Hornets expected to lose by 30 points. The Hornets showed up ready to play Thursday night. I was there live on the sidelines with Kim and the players and the coaches, and I can tell you that I have never seen this team that well trained and that ready to play as I saw them on Thursday night, and I was proud to be a Bullock County Hornet and a supporter of the team on Thursday night. This final score was 18-6. The Hornets held them pretty close there until the second half of the game, and then there were just some fluke plays that brought them to the win. But we were proud to say that the Hornets showed up. Their defense played strong and their offense played strong. Well, when we come back, we are going to take a tour of the facilities and then talk to Coach Willie Spears with a play-by-play of the game. All right, Coach Spears, you're going to show us around the facility today. I can't wait to see some of the places I haven't seen. I've been inside the locker room before because you were nice enough during the Christy Crow Sports Clinic, the women's clinic this summer, to show us that. But what else do y'all have for the players here today?
Well, right now you're inside the coach's office, and this is a part of the school that's not being used right now, so the principal allowed us to use it. Each coach has a desk, and I put different things on their desk. And I was trying to just talk about a folder that I had earlier. I don't even know what I did with it. But each week we have a binder for the teams we play, and our next game is St. James. So we'll put everything in here, what formation they run, who we need to look out for. We have a great conference table that our principal gave us, and this is where we normally meet at. We're here a lot. And the good thing about our staff, they really like each other. So even when the meeting is over, guys don't get up and run out. You know, we stay in and hang out. We've got a refrigerator, which you must have.
Yes, with some water this time of year.
Exactly. And of course, all our file cameras. We have a smart board. One thing about Bullock County is great technology. We watch film. That's one thing that we do a lot of. Actually, the team is watching film now, so we're going to take a peek in there. We got water from the community. If you look right there, there's some, somebody brought some laundry detergent because we wash their clothes every day. And so we need a lot of laundry detergent.
I know their mamas appreciate that.
Yeah, because it stinks sometimes. Yeah.
So why is it important to watch film, Coach?
It's important to watch film. It's a great question. A lot of people don't know this. We give them 2 of our games. They give us 2 of their games. A lot of people don't know that happens. It's like a gentleman's agreement. In the region, it's mandatory. So we play St. James, which is a region game. We have to give them 2 of our games. They have to give us 2 of their games. One advantage that we have, we played on Thursday night. They played on Friday. So our entire staff went to watch them play. This coming Friday, we don't play. They play strong. So we'll go out there and watch them again. Doesn't mean we're going to win, but we should have a great idea of what they're going to do. And so that's why we watch so much film. We played Thursday night, so now we're going to go watch the players watch themselves. And it'll be loud in there, and it's not a friendly environment because they're being coached, not criticized.
Exactly. So today you're watching films of the Thursday night game?
Yes, our previous game. All right. So they don't know we're coming in. So it's gonna be fine. Give me one second, Coach. Give me one second. We're watching film. Y'all say hi to Facebook Live. Hey! So if you look right
Welcome
there.
to Mo!
Yeah. They're watching film, and y'all heard Coach Vine, so you'll hear from later, going off in a nice, constructive way. And so that's a good thing. All in on 3, 1, 2, 3.
All in.
Y'all keep watching film. We'll let y'all have that. All right, hit those like Lucille. I want to show you this before we get into your questions. I didn't even think about this, but this room is kind of dirty. So watch your feet. Right? Meaning it's a motion sensor. But this is our equipment room. All right? And we're in the middle of transition. We just moved everything out of one equipment room, and this is another equipment room. We got a $30,000 grant, and I wish I could remember the group that gave it to. I know it's the health department. They had something to do with it, I believe. But anyway, we got a huge grant to redo our field house. So us and the middle school will benefit from that. In the meantime, we put everything here so you can see our home jerseys. There's some of the away jerseys that we did not wear. We have some of our gear that we got from, thank goodness for the black and gold. And we have a lot of shoulder pads. And it's just a lot in here, more than you can realize. And we have to have an equipment room. And it doesn't smell as bad as it normally would. But this is part of our facility as well. So we have the film room, the coaches meeting room, and we have right here the equipment room.
And so are these new jerseys this year?
Yes, great question. Here's one right here. These jerseys cost $111, believe it or not. It's a high performance piece of equipment. It'll last us about 3 or 4 years, so it'll last a long time. Probably lasts us longer than that. You only really wear them 5 times a year. That's what people don't realize. You got 5 home games, 5 away. So this is called tackle twill, you know, and so it's very high quality. Last year we didn't have these, couldn't afford them, but our principal made sure that we got these this year, and they look so nice. He told me you should win 8 games in those. So I said you could take them back, and we'll take the regular jerseys and not have the expectations.
Well, they are beautiful jerseys, and I know the boys, when you look good, you feel good.
Definitely.
And I will say that they looked good Thursday night, and I knew that, I could tell by the way they were running up and down the field that they felt better about themselves just because they felt stronger and looking good.
And we look like a real team. You know, we're getting there. You know, we're a program that has never made the playoffs. A program that has only, like you said earlier, only been a ranked team once in school history. Last year we won 3 region games in one season. That had never been done in the history of the school. And so we're striving each day to get better. We have 15 guys on our team now that have never played football before. And so the other night we started at 7. It was the first time ever been in a varsity football game. And so we have a lot to overcome, but we really believe with the coaching staff we have and the players and the senior leadership that things are going to work out.
Well, and you could tell at the beginning of the game that there were some nerves out on the field, and that's probably true of the first game in any football program.
Yeah, if you watched Florida and Miami the other night, it was very sloppy. A lot of mistakes. I think Florida had 10 sacks against Miami, and a lot of that is first game jitters, and it's not as easy as it looked. You know, a lot of guys think, why didn't he catch that ball? Or, why didn't he make that? Well, it's not as easy as it looks, you know, and so we are very proud of these young men for working so hard and going out and having a good showing against the 9th-ranked team in the state. It won't be easy against St. James in 2 weeks. Last year we started off 0-2 before we upset Dadeville for the first region win in over 60 tries. And so we're looking forward to preparing for 2 weeks for St. James and seeing what happens.
Well, and it is nice to have an extra week off after the first game to have a little more time to look at the film, see what you did right, improve on what you did wrong. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely. And the truth is, all games are important. But the least important game this year was real time because it's not a rival game and it's not a region game. The next 9 are all region games and rival games. And you know this, being a big Auburn fan, if Auburn beats Alabama, the rest of the year doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
You know? And so for us, if we win homecoming, if we beat BTW, if we beat Barber County, our fans are like, I don't even know what happened with the rest of the games. And so the rest of our games are all rival games and all region games. And so not that real time wasn't important, but these are the most important.
Amen. Well, that sure was a tough loss against Reeltown Thursday night. Do you want to talk about it in here, or we can go to the weight room?
We go to the weight room. Yep.
All right, let's go.
So a little bit more to the tour. Watch your step. Watch your step. Oh, let me show you this. Back and goal boosters got us these. These are awesome. These are game balls.
That's a beautiful ball.
Yeah, and then look at the logo on the other side.
That is
now
awesome.
This ball costs $125. And so we don't allow the guys to play with the balls on the cement because if it gets scratched up, the referee will reject it and you won't be allowed to use it. But it's a state issue ball, and the NCAA uses the same ball. Some teams do, and we're really excited to have our logo on the football. And we order 6. We use 1 every 2 games, and so that's exciting. And all these bags we have, and they have their names on them so they know. If you see right here, it says Thomas, and that's Willie Thomas. All right, he's an offensive lineman, class of 2023. It says all in. And so this is his bag so he can put everything in. And we're big Alabama State fans, so we got Alabama State put on the side. But we have a lot of coaches who went to Bama State. Bama State's a big supporter of ours, and so we try to root for those guys whenever we can and hope they get the win this coming weekend.
We hope they do too.
So we're going right out here. and we'll take a left here. We're gonna go by the hand. We're practicing in the rain. So I always say hey to Facebook Live. Hey, what you doing, man? Yeah, we're gonna stay inside and take up the weather.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be in the old gym in a minute.
Okay. All right. Hey, Christy.
How you doing?
How you doing? All right.
Y'all say hey to Facebook Live. Y'all say hey to Facebook Live. Hey. Y'all do a cussing out here.
Wait, you're alive? You're alive? Oh, I don't want to be alive. Okay.
This is actually clean for us. When you say so,
Well, I'm glad we're in the locker room, Coach, because I heard about these new stickers you got for the side of the helmets, but I hadn't seen them up close yet.
yeah, they're nice up close. They're really nice. And so you see them right here, the logos. Now people don't realize these cost $700 to order these. And what I love about our logo, there's no logo like it. It's similar to Boston College. It's similar to the Alabama State Hornet. But Coach Peacock took the Boston College logo, took the eagle out, and put the Hornet inside. And there's no one with this color scheme. So you can't watch television and find something just like this. You know, it's unique. And so that's what we love about it. Has the stripe, has the number on the back. This is Xavier Hilton. He's a 2-year starter. Unfortunately, he broke his foot last year against Pike Road and missed half the season. But he's one of our leaders. And you look inside his helmet, it has a sock lining, and this is called a speed flex. All right, it has a cut in the top of the helmet. If you watch a lot of college football in the NFL, you'll see this. This is Rydell. Schutt makes one very similar, but this helmet is $325. It's how much his helmet costs. And when I got the job here, we didn't have any of these. Our principal, he got us 11 of them. And then I wish I could remember his name, but it's a gentleman in the community. He and his 2 business partners bought us 11 more. So we have 22 of these helmets, one for each starter. And these are just, they're comfortable. When I play football, it hurts just to put your helmet on. But these right here, they're pretty comfortable. And Zay, let me see, and look at this. Now this is the strap on the side. You pull them. Mm-hmm. Now the old school helmets, you buckle them.
Right.
But these you just pull, so you just push a button. So if I put this helmet on right now, all right, and I have my chin strap here, I can just pull on the side. And it changes everything. It's a lot different than back in the day when you couldn't do that. So I'm having trouble with that side. All right, and that side it pulls. All right, and I put it right here. So this is comfortable, believe it or not. When I played football, it was never comfortable. It just hurts.
Wouldn't you agree that a helmet is probably the most important piece of safety equipment a player can have?
No question. To protect your brain. We had a kid the other night was hit pretty hard on the sideline. You may have saw number 1, Bryant Grant. And he was hit pretty hard in the game, and we took him out. And we're going through the concussion protocol right now because we don't know. And I'm going to tell you this. You may not realize it. Y'all can't smell at home. But for a locker room, it smells pretty good
It
here.
does smell pretty good. I've been in plenty that smell a lot worse.
And so I'm going to get a picture of this book bag. This is Xavier's book bag that he can take on the road with us when we travel. And we had a great trip up to the game in a charter bus provided by our booster club, and we're just really appreciative of the guys traveling and not being sweaty when they get there, not being drained from the heat. And so that's a good thing. So let's get to these difficult questions.
All right, so it was a great game Thursday night. Early on in the game, y'all held them to 4th and 25, and you held them and caught the ball, took the ball back from them. And unfortunately, we did come up a little bit short, but what was your takeaway from the game?
Well, a few things. One, they were really good. So when you're playing a team that's really good, they won 3 state championships in school history. We won none. They went to the playoffs last year, won their region. We just won 3 region games. So when you're going against a very good team, that's a great program. Their former coach now works for the state. When you're going against that, what happens is you have to do everything right. And we made too many mistakes. And whenever we lose, that's on me. And so I got to do a better job of making sure we're prepared. I got to do a better job of making sure we're in great shape. I got to do a better job of making sure that we're calling the right play at the right time. And we dropped 2 interceptions. We had 4 turnovers. We had a lot of penalties. And you can blame it on the first game of the season. You can blame it on not a lot of experience. But I just like to look in the mirror and say, Coach Spears, you got to do better. And so my takeaway is I'm not upset. You know, you're never happy when you lose. But it's not like we didn't play well. We just didn't play well enough to win against a much better opponent. You know, and we're going to get there. Our program is not where Real Time's program is. It will be one day. We're taking steps to get there. Last year they beat us 35-8. This year they beat us 18-6. So that's closing that gap. You know, and we're going to get there. And so I'm excited. One big thing that happened in the game, a lot of people didn't notice, our starting quarterback was put out the first drive of the game.
And that's what I was going to ask you about. I mean, how do you prepare for that? Your first game of the season, the first drive of the game, and you lose your starting quarterback.
It's horrible. I mean, a few years ago, Florida State had a quarterback named Francois. He was really good. They're playing against Alabama. He gets hurt against Alabama. They lose the next 7 games, and their coach is gone. And now Jimbo Fisher is at Texas A&M. So losing a quarterback is huge. Now, you don't make excuses. You don't pout. You get the next guy up. But the next guy played at middle school last year, and he didn't even play quarterback every game. They bounced him around. So we had a young kid named Dominique Graves who came in and did an excellent job.
He did.
For a baby, he did an excellent job. But it changed our play calling. So we had to go to a trick formation. You got a script, and if I may have one in my office, of what we're going to do and when we're going to do it. But when your quarterback gets hurt, you got to throw the script out the window.
Right. You got to play to the players you have on the field.
Exactly. And so that was a big part of us not having the success we wanted to have. He got thrown down on the sideline by number 6, who's committed to the University of South Carolina. He threw him down hard on the sideline, a very legal play, but he thought his shoulder was dislocated. Come to find out it wasn't, but it's still bruised very, very badly. He went to the doctor, and the doctor said he should be okay in 2 weeks, but that's football. You know, football and injuries go together like peanut butter and jelly. So you have to be ready to bounce back. That hurt us, not an excuse,
Certainly.
but had an impact in the game for sure.
Well, another thing that I think had an impact was the weather. We talked about last time how hot it was during practice, but it was pretty hot down there on the field. I was out there on the field for a few minutes with y'all, and I mean, I saw players cramping up. I know you had a great water boy out there trying to get water to them and keep them as hydrated as possible. But how do you think the weather and the cramps that they had may have affected their ability to play?
Well, it affected our ability to call plays as well. So we would call a play, and then coach would say, "Where's John?" or "Where's Streeter?" I said, "Coach, he's cramping." So we have to change the whole play, because every play is, if you've ever been in a play or been acting or anything, you have to have all the cast members there or it's not the same. And so when you call pro right, then the guy that plays as flanker is not out there. We got another guy that changes the play. He may know what to do, but he didn't get as many practice reps as the starter did. So that affected us tremendously. And so I think last year we didn't cramp at all. Part of it is we got guys that have never played a real football game playing offense and defense. And it's a lot on your body. And no matter how much you do at practice, you can't prepare for what it's like in a game. You know, and it's kind of difficult. Let's go in my office and get out these flyers.
All right.
There's a couple flyers in here. Oh, let's go watch the cheerleaders real quick. Just get a peek of the cheerleaders y'all won't mind.
Y'all did a great job Thursday night.
So this is our washroom. So we wash all the clothes. It's nothing fancy. It's what you got at home.
Right.
And it breaks all the time. And room fix.
So our injury report.
Oh, you know, it's a body.
Being in here is a good way to avoid injuries because you can get trained and be strong enough to avoid injuries. But there were some injuries Thursday night. Our injury report is brought to us by Dreamfield Farms and the Piggly Wiggly, and we really appreciate both of them helping sponsor this program. Can you give us an update on who's healthy and when we can expect the non-healthy ones back on the field?
Great question. Like I said before, injuries are part of football. Before the season, we lost Devon Snell, speedster, probably one of our fastest guys. We're going out here going against you, falling 7-on-7. He just backs paddle, bicycle kicks out of it, and all of a sudden he tears his MCL. So he's out. So then there's another kid named Jay Smith, a freshman who is going to probably start at cornerback for us. So our 2 starting corners also start on offense. But he was going to be one of the starting corners. And he's having a great spring, a great summer, and he's running at practice, and one of our guys hit him in the knee at practice, and we think he's going to be okay. He goes to the doctor, MCL, ACL, and meniscus.
Oh,
so there's
my
two
God.
starters before the season started that are out.
Right.
Then in the game the other night, we have a young man named Keith Williams. Everybody call him TT. He's our quarterback's little brother. I'm going to tell you something, an interesting fact. We make put this in the show one day. We have 7 guys on the team that has a brother.
On the team?
Blood brother on the team.
Oh, that's
and we
awesome.
had 9. We had 2 guys not make all their days, so they're not with us. But we got 7. And Luke Seth and Luke Sturdivant, they have 11. Luke Seth holding on the camera. It's 11 of those children. 2 girls and 9 boys. And I heard the girls are more aggressive than the boys, but that's another time for another show. But anyway, so the other night, Keith Williams is going to be out for a while. He's one of our starting offensive and defensive linemen, number 52. He has a bone fracture in his ankle. Our quarterback, Robert Williams' shoulder is sore. He should be about 90% come game time. We have a knee injury. Streeter, Marcavius Streeter, his knee is bothering him a little bit. Some of that is from working out as well, and it's been bothering him for a while. We have an injury coming from Bryant Grant, who had maybe a concussion. We're not sure. One thing that hurts us, we don't have a team doctor. We don't have a team trainer. And so if you're the opposing team, I'm the medical person for this team, and your kid is hurt, I'm going to say, Coach, he can't play anymore tonight.
Right,
He's out.
of course. He's out.
And so I can't second guess a medical person.
No.
But it's a huge disadvantage for us because that person's going to do what it takes to help his team. So that's one of the disadvantages that we have. We're working on that. But right now, Bryant Grant is out until further notice because of that big hit. And he says he's okay, but he's not a doctor.
Right.
And I've watched MASH, I've watched ER, I've watched General Hospital with my grandmother, but I'm not a doctor. You know, so I don't get to choose if a kid can come back or not. We wait for a medical professional to do that.
Well, certainly the safety of the kid is the most important thing, and we want to make sure Brian is healthy, and all these other kids are too, so our prayers are with them as they continue to recover. Well, you grade each week. What's your grade for the first week of the season?
Wow. Well, the team grade is a D plus because we lost, and we made too many mistakes. So they need to go in the locker room and get dressed. And so the special teams did well. Our kicker, Jose Vasquez, just did an excellent job, better than we thought he would do. He did what we call flip the field when he punted the ball, did a great job. So, and then, you know, Flintroy ran a kickoff back for a touchdown, 80-yard return. So that's good. So the special teams going back, so they get an A-. The defense played well, but not well enough. Gave up too many big plays. So the defense, we graded them a C-. The offense didn't score, so that's automatically a D.
Right.
You know, so when we have our staff meeting, no sir, just the helmets, and sure we're gonna go in the old gym. Yep. And here's the key, coach. And so you can tell this is live because we're talking to coaches right now.
Right,
Yeah.
and we don't want to interrupt practice
No,
just for this.
you're good. This is important as well. We want the fans to know what we got going on. And I've worked in 11 different schools, and this is the best community I've ever been a part of. It is unbelievable. One thing, the community, no one's perfect. So here's the biggest flaw of our community. They don't know how to say no. And for us, that's a great flaw.
That is a great
Whatever we
flaw.
ask for, oh, no problem, coach, we'll get it. No, coach, you need an airplane, you need a helicopter, coach, whatever you need, coach, we will get it. I mean,
We'll figure out a way.
right, I even have preachers calling. When can we come pray for the injured kids? I mean, I'm like, wow. So we want the community to know what's going on. But so we didn't grade out what we wanted to. The coaches, we hold them to the fire. I hold myself to the fire. You know, we don't want to go into the game saying, well, no one thought we could win and we didn't win, so it's okay. Well, it's not okay. You know, we must improve. We must get it taken care of.
Well, speaking of coaches, I know next up we have defensive coordinator Jeremy Bynes, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the Hornets defense that you just graded
C-.
C-. So I hope he's going to tell us how we're going to get that up to an A by the time the season's over.
No doubt, and we'll get coached. In the meantime, you guys can go over there and look at our signature wins from this past year. Those are big wins that we've had this past year. Y'all can focus on those. Who see Coach Bynes?
Yes, These were signature wins of last year. 22-17, Bullock County and Dadeville. First region win since 2009. Signature win, homecoming, 20-0. First homecoming win in over 20 years. Signature win, 50-0. Biggest shutout in school history. And rivalry game, Highway 29. Let's see, only the third rivalry win in school history. Now we'll come back over here to Christy and Jeremy, Attorney Crow and Coach Vines.
All right, this is Defense Coordinator Jeremy Vines. We're so thankful for you joining us here today.
Yes, ma'am.
Coach Vines, tell us a little about your history playing football and coaching football.
Well, I played football 4 years at the Fair High School, where I started 3 out of 4 years. High school, I went to college at Alabama State University, and I began coaching in 2014 as a volunteer assistant with the Fair High School, and also helped out with the rec program in the Felt Montgomery areas. And last year, I volunteered and worked at Alabama State Football Department.
So you said you played high school football for 3 out of 4 years. What positions did you play in high school?
I played 4 years. I started 3 out of 4. But I played.
I'm sorry. So you played all 4 and you started 3 of them.
Yes, ma'am. I played
Okay.
O-line and D-line. Yes, ma'am.
So you played the lines on the whole game, both sides?
Yes, ma'am. Whole side.
And then you went up to ASU. Did you play all 4 years there as well?
No, man. I didn't play it all day.
Well, did you have fun being on the team?
Yes, ma'am.
And learned a lot, I know.
Yes, ma'am.
And so tell me what you coached after you got out there. You said you volunteer coached at a high school in...
The Fair High School. What I did, I just went out and tried to learn more about football, and I volunteered, helped out wherever I could help out. And I started with a great program in the Felt, where I was youth coordinator there for 2 years. Also went to Montgomery and coached softball, baseball there, helped out there as well. And like I said, last year, I was a student assistant at Alabama State University, where I helped out with film, D-line, and etc.
Well, I know that experience has given you a great base for being the defensive coordinator here at Bullock County High School, and we're
Yes,
so
ma'am.
grateful you're here.
Yes, ma'am.
How was your first game as the defensive coordinator for Bullock County High School?
The first game, I think we did some good things and a lot of bad things. We made a lot of mistakes, but the few mistakes we made are we can fix them. And today, we're going to take today, working on ourselves and fix those mistakes. I got to do a better job of subbing guys in and out. I think in the fourth quarter, I got very tired, and it's my fault. I got to do a better job of subbing and keep my guys fresh, and put guys in better position to make better plays. So they lost on me, and I try to get it fixed for next week against St. James.
Well, speaking of preparing for next week, other than preparing to sub more people in and out for next week against St. James, what else are y'all doing to prepare the defense to have more than a C- for the game next week?
Well, actually, the coaches went to scout us at James on Friday night. So what we're going to do today is, like I said today, we're going to take time to fix our mistake from Friday night game. And tomorrow, we're going to introduce the team to St. James base offense, that base formation. And as we go on, we're going to progress to the different plays they run. St. James run the wing T. In order to beat them, you got to be very physical and read your keys. You got to do a lot of misdirection. They're very hard. So we're going to try to be disciplined and focus all week long on the base formation. Their plays will come later in the week.
Well, our Coach's Spotlight was brought to you by Willie Durham State Farm. I've already said it once, but you say it this time. Like a good neighbor?
State Farm is there. Go Hornets.
Go Hornets. Thank you so much, Coach Vines, for joining us and interrupting your practice time to be with us here today. We
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate it.
Thank y'all so much.
When we come back, we're going to introduce you to the player of the week, Jadarius Flintroy.
Oh. Let's look at all the weight equipment. Yes.
And there's some great equipment that all the players need in here in order to be prepared to make it through the games. I know the strength and conditioning are the two most important things you can do to prepare for any game. We have our Power Clean seniors, juniors, sophomore, and freshmen listed up there. As you can see, there are 5 seniors, 5 juniors, and 4 sophomores and 4 freshmen listed on the Power Clean team.
Oh, we got our Jadarius Flintroy here.
All right, Darius. Welcome to the Christy Pro Sports Show. We're so glad you're here. You are the player of the week, and that's brought to you by Jinx, Crow & Dixon, the law firm right here in Union Springs. We're so happy to be able to support the Bullock County Hornets. Congratulations.
Did you know you were player of the week?
Well, congratulations. You should be a little more excited about being player of the week, Jadarius. I know your folks are awfully proud of you for it, and your family is too. Well, reports say say that you hurt your ankle pretty badly on Monday, and the coaches didn't know if you're going to be able to play in the game. How are you feeling?
Right now, I'm 100% right now. When coming to the game, I'll probably say about 75, 80. But they helped me treat right, so I'll be able to play.
What did you do in the last week to bounce back from your injury so fast?
I just had to stay focused and make sure that I won't go let the injury stop me from helping me do whatever I got to do on the field to help my team and support them. So I just stuck to what they were telling me to do, like ice it. Like they used to give me a little thing called steam, or shock my ankle muscle, stuff like that.
Now, you're on special teams, right?
Yes.
So, what did you think? So, this is the man who, the 80-yard kick return we had for the 6 points that we had for the game Thursday night, that was your kick return. How did you feel about that when you got that ball and started running it back?
Well, before we got on the field, I said I'm finna return it. I told my the quarterback, Dominique, I had told him before. Then I got the ball, went one way, saw a crease, and just took off on them.
And I know recovering from an ankle injury, that had to be a little harder. So you think you can do it again next week against St. James?
Well, see what happens.
How do you think this year's team is different from last year's team?
Last year we was a little better, but we could have went farther. It just we didn't know as much as we know now. So like the people that played last year from this team, they know a little more now. So we're a little more experienced. But we just got more guys, more better, like some more skilled guys, some freshmen. They some good guys. We can go very far this year.
Do you think that your preparation over the summer may help you go further this year as well?
Definitely. Last year we started in like June or July. Now we started from December all the way to July. So we definitely way better.
And I know conditioning makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you're in better condition now than you were this time last year?
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate this. You coming and joining us and interrupting your practice. Again, Jadarius Flint-Roy, the Jigs Crow and Dixon player of the game for this first game of the season. We're so proud of you. And when we come back, we'll take your questions for Coach Spears. Thanks, Jadarius.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So before we took a break and Jadarius came in, we were talking about our people that are recognized on our signs here in the weight room. You have the parallel squat and how much they've all squatted. You've got boys that have squatted 390 pounds. That's more than me, Kim.
How'd it go?
Good. We're doing good. Jadarius did a great job.
Good. So we got Q&A?
We are ready for it.
All right, do we have any questions or we finished? If we don't have any questions, let's go outside where the BC logo is. We want to say thank you for doing this. It's pretty cool for us.
I'm having so much fun being a part of the team, and I appreciate you inviting me to be here.
Yeah, good. Watch the garbage cans, they're full. Cause we would dump these. I want to do these with the BC in the background, even though we have a Volvo in the background with it. Can we do it right on the steps? And you guys with the BC in the background, that look good? Not bad? Okay.
It looks good.
We got
All
any
right.
questions?
So, do we have any questions from Facebook?
Didn't you have a
Facebook
question?
Live?
We had one question.
Fine. Is it how critical was it when our starting quarterback went down, and how is he?
Great question. How critical was it when the quarterback went down? How is it? Very critical.
Yeah, you lose your starting quarterback on a game. It's pretty critical, especially that early in the game when you don't even really have your momentum built yet.
Right, and you don't know if it's for a quarter, a game, or the season. So, and we don't have a doctor on the sideline, and so it for lack of a better word, it sucks. It's bad. But if you watch the national championship last year, Clemson and Alabama, they both brought into the game quarterbacks that didn't start the whole year. At Alabama, Tua and Jalen had to play, and Clemson used 3 different quarterbacks. The Bryant kid at a number 7, I forget his name, and then the starter who looks like Sunshine from Remember the Titans. So Lawrence. So it's gonna take more than one quarterback. You're gonna be playing longer in the season. Quarterbacks get hit the most when they're not looking, and so it was tough. To answer that question, it was very, very, very critical. And he's doing better. His left shoulder is very sore right now. We're inside today since we don't have a game this week. If we had a game this week, we'll be on the field, rain or shine, it wouldn't matter. but with us having extra time, today we watch film. It's going to be more of a mental practice. We're going to do some conditioning, of course. We do that every day. We have football class, so a lot of the boys already lifted weights today, which prevents injury, as you know. And we're going to have a lot of fun with the fact that we get to walk through our mistakes, and then we get to walk through what St. James is going to do. So football is two components. It's collision and it's teaching. Today is not a collision day. Today is a teaching day.
We got 2 more questions.
Well, I know those teaching days are very important, so I'm glad you did have a rainy day in order to get a little more teaching in today. What other questions do we have?
Did you schedule the Reeltown game for the first game of the season? If not, why such an opponent for the first game of the season?
Excellent question. To answer the question, no, I did not. The schedule was made before I got here, and I'm not going to go into why somebody would schedule that type of opponent first. I don't know why. But usually you want to start off with an opponent that's not the best opponent on your schedule. Reeltown is arguably the best team on our schedule. You can make that argument. They had more success in the last 3 years than St. James, Montgomery Academy, Pike Road, than anybody on our schedule. But when I got the job, the 2-year schedule was already made. I told the coach after the game, I said I can, and they were great hosts. Our Booster Club bought meals from them so we could eat. We had some meals we thought we didn't get. They made sure we got them. They gave us Gatorade and water in our locker room. They were great hosts. And I told him after the game, I said, I can guarantee you one thing, Coach. He said, what's that? I said, we won't be playing you again. He said, oh, buddy, the feeling is mutual. We're not playing y'all again either. We feel like we got away with one.
Well, Reeltown had everything to lose and nothing to win by playing y'all first. And I'm sure when they scheduled the game as the first game of the season for Reeltown, they thought at the time Bullock County High School hadn't won a game, and who knows how long at that point. So that they wanted to schedule the first game of the season because they were thinking they would have their easiest game the first game of the season. They did not have their easiest game of the season the first game of the season. Y'all played them hard. You tackled their quarterback a good bit. I bet he was soaking in it. He's a little sore to the next day.
They know they had a game.
They did, no question about it.
I got a secret. You ready?
I'm
This
ready.
is between us, guys. Don't tell anyone else this. It's a secret. We're working on a game at the Wide World of Sports, Disney World, for our first game next year.
Oh,
So
man.
we did all the preliminaries.
Can you repeat that?
We're working on a game. It's be at the Wide World of Sports in Orlando, Florida, Disney World. We want it Labor Day weekend, so our fans are already off work that Monday, can come down, have a family vacation, save money for a whole year. Once we know for sure, we'll announce it, but we're working on it right now.
Okay.
And so we're
Well,
excited.
I won't tell a soul.
Don't tell anybody. It's top secret.
I've never been in the facility, but I've been by it, and it is an amazing facility. And those boys I cannot imagine the excitement.
But most of them have never been to Disney. That's one reason we're going. We asked them, and most of our team has never been to Disney World. So we want to, a big part of what we do is to create memories and create excitement. And so that's one of the reasons that we're doing.
Okay, 2 more questions. Is this a must-win against St. James?
Oh, yes. Great question. It is a must-win. They won the region championship last year. If we beat them, we'll be in the driver's seat, which has never happened. Bullock County has never been in first place at any point in school history in the region.
Okay.
So if we beat them, it's 8 teams in our region. 4 teams will win that week, 4 will lose. Everybody in the region plays. So we'll be tied for first place in the region. So it is a must-win. It is a big deal, and it's at home.
Okay.
It's a home game. We should
our
sell
folks
the
out.
first one.
Amen.
It should be a packed house.
This goes along with that question. Based on our strengths and weaknesses from our play Thursday and what you understand about St. James, what will your focus be in preparation for next week's game?
We got to take care of the football. We threw 2 interceptions. We had 4 fumbles. We got them all back except 1. We got to take care of the football, take care of our quarterback. Again, he gets hurt. That changes the game. St. James is very good. They have a legendary coach. Their coaching staff, I've been coaching 18 years. Coach J.R. Richardson has been coaching 25 years. Everybody else on our staff has been coaching 15 years or less. So we don't have the experience as a St. James. St. James has 4 coaches that have been coaching over 25 years and been successful head coaches. So that goes a long way in adjusting in a game and preparing for a game. But one thing about St. James, they do what they do. They don't change. They don't have the great quarterback, Tony Emerson, that they had last year. He's at Georgia Tech, thank goodness. He had a field day on us last year. He's unbelievable talent. They don't have him. They do have another running back by the name of Gavin, and he is unbelievable. I coached him for a short time at Carver before he transferred to St. James. His cousin is actually Coach Peacock. They're cousins.
Oh,
So
wow.
number 3 is one of the top players at St. James, and he and Coach Peacock are related. He has a great family, and they have a great team. So we can't turn the ball over. If St. James is good enough to beat us, we need to let them beat us. We don't need to help them by turning the ball over and making mistakes.
Mistakes will lose a game for you. We all know
And a
that.
case probably, too, in
and
the courtroom.
a case, yes. If you make critical mistakes, are all the difference in life. So what are you doing to prepare for Gavin and the other star players at St. James?
Well, we kind of know what they're going to do. That's not going to be a surprise. It's a matter of execution. Like I said, they have a game this week, so they can't prepare for us this week. That would not be very wise for them to not prepare for Strong and prepare for us. We have 2 weeks to prepare for them, which should be an advantage. They have great experience. Their players have been running this offense and this defense since 6th grade. That's not the case with us. Our middle school runs a different offense than we run. They run a different defense. It's different terminology. And so that's a disadvantage. Whereas those guys know exactly, when we line up, they know, okay, now you're blocking him, you're blocking him, you're blocking him. How do you know that? I've been doing this since I was in 6th grade.
Right.
We don't have that advantage. And so we need an extra week because of that. Our middle school won a big game Saturday, 21-0, go Hornets. And so we're really excited about what they're doing. But that's just a product of being in Bullock County. We just don't have that stability such that St. James has. And so we're preparing by breaking down what they do. We already have a scouting report because we played them last year. We have to change some of the numbers and some of the names. But J.R. Richardson has coached against them many times. That's going to be a big advantage for us that we didn't have last year. Also, our booster club got us Huddle Sideline. Huddle Sideline is a television on the sideline that can actually show us the play in real time. So when we mess up, we can see exactly what happened. We didn't have that last year. Last year, we didn't have a coach in the booth. We didn't have enough coaches, and so we should be better prepared.
So now how does Huddle Sideline help you coach the kids while you're during the game, while you're on the sideline?
Okay, so if you know enough football, you know on this play, if he got tackled in the backfield on the right side, this and this had to happen. The kid says, "No, coach, I blocked the guy down." So you couldn't have blocked him down, Johnny. I did, coach. Let's go to Huddle Sideline. And so you can look, he say, "Well, yeah, coach, you're right. I didn't block him down." And also what it does, it tells us, oh, they got us on this play last time. If they line up in this formation again, this would be our adjustment because that's how they got it. Because all coaches do is look at their script and they say, okay, on this play we got nothing, this play we got 2, this play we got 8, this play we got 11. Let's go back to that. So we just want to make sure they don't beat us with that 11-yard gain again. And you can adjust to that quicker through Huddle Sideline.
Well, I know that's an exciting development for you and the coaching staff and for the kids. I know they were trying to learn. I noticed myself that you had the kids over there in a tent and showing them the plays Thursday night, and I'd never seen that before on the sideline of the game. So that was exciting for me to see, knowing that you're coaching the kids during the game.
And it's big for Bullock County. I mean, a lot of teams have had that. We have not. Most people in the stands have no idea everything that goes into the game. You know, a lot of people that think it's 11 guys on 11 guys, they're going to run full speed into each other, and one of them may pop out. And it's such a science. And that's why I love it. It's a chess match during the game, and the team that adjusts the best is going to win the game. The team that handles adversity and that has the best adjustment is going to be the one that's victorious. And so it's mind against mind. We tell our players all the time, the smart team is going to win. And so we want to be the smartest team at the end of the night.
One last question, if you're ready. And this is from
Coach Hines.
Coach Hines.
The atmosphere in the locker room felt like they are mentally ready for a bounce back for the next game.
Great question. The question was, is the atmosphere in the locker room one that the players feel they can bounce back for the next game? And the answer to that is yes. Those guys are excited. They were texting me, and we were texting each other all over the weekend and talking about, oh, coach, I see what I did on play 48, and I see what I did on play 37. And so that was good. But they're hungry. You know, they want to do, imagine being able to be a part of something that has never been done. Yeah. Like, if Alabama wins the national championship this year, so what? It's happened before. If Auburn wins, it'll be great, but they've done it before. So we have a chance to go to the playoffs. It's never been done. And so our players realize that those signature wins that y'all show pictures of, if we win against St. James, that will be a signature win because we'll be 1-0 in the region. That's never happened before. We've only beat St. James one other time in school history. Now, and I tell you, St. James is not going to come here and roll over. They're not going to come and say, hey, you guys can beat us. They're going to be very well coached, very well prepared. They're not going to beat themselves. And if we do win the game, it's going to be a hard-fought, nail-biter, close game at the end. But it's possible.
Well, Coach, you've got these kids as ready as they've ever been to win the game, and I know we've got a week and a half before the next game. The next game is Friday, September 6th, here at Bullock County Hornet Stadium. Hornet Nation right behind us. We're so excited to be looking forward to that. And so we want to thank our sponsors again for the Christy Crow Sports Show. This week our sponsors included Willie Durham, State Farm, Like a Good Neighbor, State Farm is there. And they also included Dreamfield Farms, Piggly Wiggly, and the committee to re-elect Henry Barnett.
And don't forget, Christy Crow sponsored our Player of the Week this week, which is Darius Flint Troy. Had an 80-yard kickoff return. Also had a lot of tackles on defense. I don't have those exact stats. And was one of our leading rushers on offense. And he had a hurt ankle earlier in the week.
We
I know y'all
talked about that. The
So,
hurt ankle. God
yeah.
bless him. He was playing strong for somebody that could have taken the week off, saying I was injured. Coach, put me out. Instead, he showed up and played his heart out.
Right, and thank you for sponsoring that Player of the Week. That'll be something, a certificate that he'll have for the rest of his life, I'm sure. And it's pretty exciting. The Christy Crow Sports Show and the Christy Crow Player of the Week.
It's been a great week, Coach. The thing you said that's most true is that we live in a great community. I'm so grateful for all the community support we have with the Bullock County Hornets high school football team.
It was a good crowd, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great crowd out
On a
there.
Thursday night.
I know, and an hour and a half away from home.
Yep,
so
yep.
we had a good crowd for a Thursday night. I know we're going to have a better crowd next Friday. And tune in after that for the Christy Crow Sports Show. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks so much.